What if someone breaks into your house right now and puts a gun to your head? What would you do? How would you feel? Of course you would be afraid, but what if you knew that you could never be afraid? What if you knew that fear is just a trick of the mind to always keep you reacting? What if you knew that nothing on this earth or in hell or in heaven could ever frighten you? How would you live your life? Join us and see if it's possible to realize that fear is a total impossibility. This is Who Am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I? Who?
Who?
Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
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 Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute truth. That's our purpose.
Who am I?
Well, are you scared? You know, in the last show, we were getting at the body, fear, attachments, okay? And what we were coming to is that somehow or another, we always are scared. There's something we always protecting, okay? Something that you think that's important. And one of the things what you think that's most important is your body, okay? You think you were born. You think you were, you know, a male, female, and that you live in some place, and that you got to get someplace, and you got to get some stuff. And your mama taught you this, and your daddy taught you this, and your preacher taught you this, and you're going to protect that, okay? And you know what's right, okay? And you know that it's important, and you will die for it, okay? But then you have some belief that your God is going to take you somewhere or something, okay? But this is something that you think is true, and you are going to protect it because you think that it is important. But is it? Is your body important? And you don't want to lose it, all right? You think that there is something called, I'm going to die. We think that John McClane died, 2 weeks ago? Aretha Franklin died. I had 2 roommates, one when I was in Columbia, died, okay? And another when I was at Morehouse, died. So it looks like people died. My brother apparently died. That's only to the senses. That's only to the senses. You only say, I can't see them anymore because we base reality upon what the senses tell us. I think I can see the 10 of you because I think I'm a body with 5 senses that bring me data, that tell me what reality is. But can God say that? God meaning that which is true. You know, God, and you notice that word God. Please be careful with it, okay? Because everybody got something attached to God that they think is true. Gloria.
You know, I took a Lyft ride this weekend, and I was just talking to the Lyft driver, and the subject of God came up. And it was interesting in that in this show, with this show, it's about inquiry. It's about asking questions, like asking the question, what is God's identity? And it's like this young man, he just parroted out what he had heard or learned, but he'd never really thought about what is God. He never even asked the question, what is God? And I asked him the question, what is God? Who is God? And it was so foreign to him to really, to dwell in that, to really look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how automatic that human identity, it just runs on automatic.
Yeah.
That fear, that lack, it's automatic. We don't even have to think about it, it just is.
Yeah.
So it's like the inquiry, am I this body? It helps to turn off that automatic.
Yeah, and the most important, God can't ask questions. Because, a question means that there's something called I ain't got.
Right.
That's called an answer. Okay? So can God say I ain't got something? I mean, can they all ask a question? No. Okay? But Alan can. It looks like Alan can. And since Alan thinks he's a body, okay, who's incomplete. There are things I don't know. I don't know, if Trump is guilty. Well, no, I know that. but I don't know if Melania is guilty or something. Well, no. Anyway, I'll back off from that. Okay. But there are things obviously I don't know. Okay. I don't know if it's going to rain tomorrow or whatever. Okay. So. But that's because I identify with a limited form, and I have to have a form, all right? And I identify with limitation. But this guy had been conditioned. We all are conditioned. Even on our license plates, in God we trust. On your dollar bill, in God we trust. But they didn't ask. It's like, God, but what do you mean by God? Is God a man? Does God, wear a long robe? Does he have to have something on, some clothes on? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that we've just kind of been conditioned. It's like a cultural thing. Like, why do I like grits? I've been exposed to them.
Huh?
I say, why do I like grits? I've just been exposed to them.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, I've had a question ever since I was a kid. They say you should fear God. And I'm thinking if we have this constant comparison between God and us and the parent and child, why would I fear my parents if we have a loving and wholesome relationship with them? And ever since I was a kid, that never really made sense to me. It makes even less sense to me now.
Good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this thing called fear, we think it's an emotion, okay? We experience fear as an emotion. Fear is anything that's not God. That's all fear is. Anything that's not true. All right, that's all fear is. It's false, false evidence appearing real. Okay, that's all fear is, and that's all thinking. All thoughts are fearful thoughts. I don't care if it's a beautiful thought about, sunsets and whatever. That's a fear-based thought, Joan.
Well, that was one of the things I was going to raise. Since we all, for the most part, at least I can speak for myself, hang out in the human identity, personal identity arena, you can differentiate fear. There are different kinds of fear, different levels of fear. And so, therefore, most of us, and i.e. the young Lyft driver, there's no thought ever given to the above the line because it's not taught, you're not conditioned in the society in which you're raised and acculturated. So, I don't know why you would expect anything else.
Well, Lydia.
And to Joan's point, most of us are taught not to ever question that. It's a bad thing if you question above the line. So there's another thing of fear thrust in there, that if you question that, you don't believe, you're damned, you're whatever. It's more of that fear thing. That's why that's never questioned.
Yeah, about here.
So you're saying that, or are you saying that fear is anything that's other than the self?
Yes.
So it's something that's unknown.
Well, fear.
Yeah, and when I say unknown, I mean because it's other than the self. There are characteristics within that other thing that are unknowable, and that produces the fear.
Yeah, anytime you think it's fear, okay? I don't, I don't care if you say, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and I know that he's coming again. Okay? That is a fear-based, it's based upon establishing this I that believes. Okay? And the I that believes is essentially cancels out, is in opposition to the only I there is.
Okay, so this notion of God also produces fear in that it's opposite, it's separate, and all those other things. And there are too many things that are unknown about it. So it's a fearful entity, or an entity that needs to be feared.
Yeah.
Because it's not a part of the self.
Yeah. That's why we do have a reward punishing God. He gives you blessings. If you go to church tithe and, go to, Wednesday night prayer meetings or whatever, okay? And he's going to punish you, if you don't, or you break one of those 10 ones or whatever, okay? So, yeah, it's like you're going to stand in something called, but I didn't go to church last Sunday. Oh, my God. Or I haven't tithe. Oh, my God. Or, whatever. You're going to have that fear thought. Because fear is basically all the human mind can give you. All right? It would disguise it, as Jones said, in so many different ways. Like guilt is just really another form of fear. Okay? Like, for instance, it says, in the Bible, you were born in sin. All right? Meaning that, Adam and Eve did something wrong. You know the story. Okay? Well, that is established guilt. Okay? And, God said that you were guilty because Adam and Eve were guilty. He judged you because this God believes in right and wrong. How can the infinite absolute know something called right or wrong? Okay, now that's a question to ask. Okay, but as we are seeing now, like old Skinner said, we are products of conditioning. Okay, Skinner had operant conditioning and Pavlov had, classical conditioning, all that kind of stuff. But it is what you've been taught, and what you've been taught, they tell you that there are right things and there are wrong things. But for God, how can there be right things and wrong things? Society has to have right and wrong. I mean, just to get on I-85, yeah, you have to have order because you think that there are a bunch of folks. Okay? You think that, and these bunch of folks can do things independently. That's not true. Alan Carter has as much independence as Donald Duck or as Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse can't do anything without Walt Disney programming him, right? Because Mickey Mouse doesn't even have a brain, a mind, all right? Anything that Mickey Mouse does is what Walt Disney says. Okay? So Alan Carter is just a product of this, an ego thought called separate from God. That's what the Course gets into a lot. Okay, Course in Miracles, okay? That there is this impossible thought called a separation from the infinite. Now, it's impossible because you can't separate from the infinite. Okay? But once I will think as a body, okay, who is separate. Alan Carter's not God. Well, of course Alan Carter isn't God. Okay? Of course Jesus isn't God. Okay? No human is God. Only God is God. Only all is all. But Alan Carter can't get that. So I will say, I'll make up a God who basically looks like me, acts like me. Yeah, I saw somebody's hand. Glory.
I was looking at your Kickstarter questions, and one of them says, do you think Jesus... No, that was the wrong one. What are you most afraid of and why? Then it says, does it have anything to do with attachments? Okay. So, like if I'm being honest, Gloria would say what I'm most afraid of is giving up my human identity. Yeah. Then I'd be left with nothing, dying to that self, dying to that old man self that I know. That's, it's like, that's predictable. I know that. To stepping into that God identity or that all identity, I don't know what that's like. That's indescribable. Mm-hmm. So that being my greatest fear, Does it have anything to do with attachment? Everything to do with attachment, because I'm attached to that human identity, because that's what I know.
Yeah, I is always attached to something. This I thought, okay? I got, like I'm attached to this body, and I'm attached, once I become attached to this body, then I'm attached to, I need air, I need food, what we call survival stuff, okay? Sharon, did I have your hand up? See your hand
Yes,
up?
it's a glorious point, but that attachment that Sharon would have to the body is the fear. And that's what keeps us in the fear, is that it's the attachment to the body and not letting go, or what we could do to release the idea of who Sharon could be, or what Sharon is, or the fact that Sharon thinks that she's a somebody or a something. And when you can do that to whatever small degree that you can, then the fear is gone.
Yeah.
And you realize there's no Sharon, there's no attachment, there's no body, there's no nothing, but then there is all.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you notice, I have these two questions, human and personal. All humans are attached to their body. Now, how are you, Gloria, or Sharon, or Leonard, or Carol, or whoever, what is that your personal conditioning experiences that you are attached to? And you'll find out that by keep looking at your patterns and what is it that you really react to intensely and that you know you're right about. Carol.
Well, I kind of wanted to go back into insight,
Okay.
and it has to do with that near-death experience that I shared on the program. And I have tried so many times to go get in touch with that entity that was backing out of the body. And I tried to see it, I tried to hear it, I tried to feel it. I couldn't. It was just elusive. And I think what I have come to understand is that it's just awareness itself, that it's just who I am, and that it has nothing to do with my seeing or hearing or feeling. It's just always there. It's like a presence, I guess is a good word for it. Presence. And it's always there. It's just who I am. And for me to try, as Carol tried to get in touch with that and feel it and taste it and see what it looks like, it'll never happen.
Exactly.
Never.
Exactly. That's profound what you're sharing, Carol. Okay? It is awareness, which is I. I am aware. I am that I am. I am, or I is. Okay? I aware that I'm present. Everywhere present. Omnipresent. Okay? And so the little Carol, who thinks she can do something. I got to understand this. I want to, put this into my understanding. Or little Jesus, or little Buddha, or trying to, put it. Buddha was raised Hindu. Jesus was raised Jewish. And the Torah says, called Jesus, and that doesn't fit in what the Torah says. Buddha, going, well, that doesn't fit in what the Vedas. You can't do nothing. Of myself, I can do nothing. All right? This is the only doer. I am the only doer. Not Alan Carter. Alan Carter is a nothing.
And I can remember you saying on a show a while back that I can't even lift my arm.
Right.
Or my leg, anything. That it's God that's doing it all.
Yeah.
He's just being.
He's being and doing, but it's not a doing like we think doing is, because we think doing is an alteration, a movement. Okay, a change from one state to another state, or one place to another place. Mickey Mouse can't do anything without Walt Disney. Okay? Mickey Mouse or This is Alan Carter. Alan Carter is as smart as this dummy, all right, a puppet, all right? And I got a PhD from Ivy League school, y'all, but they are stupid. They are dummies, okay? I don't care if you have 40,000 Nobel Prizes and 80,000 PhDs from Harvard. You are just as capable as this puppet, okay? Of myself, I can do or know nothing. Only omnipresence, omniscience knows and does. And I don't care if I say I got a book that he wrote, okay? I made that up, all right? Now I know this is blasphemy, okay? I know some of you went click, all right? Alan Carter's going straight to hell. All right, okay. But the point is, at least I'm asking questions that is trying to say, what is this that Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, what is it that they were considering? Not what I've been taught. They went beyond what they were taught. Jesus went beyond Judaism, all right? Siddhartha went beyond Hinduism. And they had to have experiences like you had, Carol, that they got to something called, there's this something, this awareness. And anything I try to do with it, I can't do it. Because you're nothing as Carol. But as what you truly are, you are all. That is all is the only truth. Yeah, Bahia.
Okay, Bahia's about to get in trouble again.
Okay? I've been in trouble. I'm in
used to
trouble
it.
right now with some people.
I don't think you were fair to Alan Carter, because Alan Carter has us here asking questions.
No, it doesn't.
And I have a lot of respect for that presence of Alan Carter. And I'm sure that Reverend Sharon does, because she's supporting you as well. So I think there's a great deal to Alan Carter in his ability to ask questions and to do all the other things that he's doing. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, Alan Carter likes compliments. Yeah, I appreciate the compliment, but that keeps the ego alive, Alan Carter's ego alive. I want y'all to think I'm smart, I'm spiritual. Even that I'm as good looking as Denzel, right? Right? I'm good looking as Denzel. Better looking. All right. Your nose getting longer, man. But we like, positive things. But the truth is, Alan Carter is just an ideal within awareness, but not like Alan Carter thinks. Okay? Yes, awareness can only know what it thinks, but it doesn't think like Alan Carter or Einstein or whoever. And yes, all this that we are doing here, I mean, it looks like we are doing something that's out of the box maybe or whatever, okay? And yes, it looks like there can be progression that I don't think like I did, let's say 20 years ago when we were at Lakeside Methodist Church or whatever, okay? Yeah, it looks like, I'm discovering something. Once you think, you're gonna think that you are human. That's just automatic, all right? And once you think you are human, then you will have something called, I'm doing something. Like Carol thought she was doing something when she thought she was trying to understand awareness. She couldn't just be, okay? Because the human mind can't be, because it's a isn't, okay? It's a be not, okay, in a sense. But yeah, so, in this little movie, or like in Carol's dream, okay? It's like when you dream about Denzel or whoever, okay? It looks real and it looks like things are happening, that humans can understand, okay, in the dream. But it's a dream, okay? And Alan Carter is always fighting for his existence because he's scared that he doesn't exist. And the truth is, he doesn't exist like he thinks he does. Because who I am is all. Carol.
I think that's why I kept trying my best to see if I could see this entity or whatever it was that was backing out. And I couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't feel it. I couldn't taste it, touch it. I couldn't do anything with it. It was very frustrating. And I just ended up saying, well, of course I couldn't. I mean, you know, because this doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that truly exists, is what I became aware of.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like because we know we get all our information from when we're born from outside things. If we're saying those things aren't real, it was like we're looking for something to define us and makes us know who we are. So when those things are gone, it's like, well, how do I define myself now?
Right.
You know, but those things don't exist. They're tools that aren't efficient to define your identity.
Right. Yeah, it's the unexplainable, it's the undefinable that is, you know, and you just allow it to just be still and know I am God. But the human mind fights stillness because it can't be still. It's always moving through a process called thinking, okay? And that's what, and then it attaches to certain thoughts and says, these are true. And we won't give it up, so we stay, it looks like human. Okay, I don't care if it's a good, sacred thought, or something your mama taught you, or the rest of the world believes, it keeps you from knowing who you truly are. And who you truly are is, I am that I am. Thank you.
Living Truth 365 is proud to support Dr. Alan Carter and the Who Am I television show. Please visit our website at livingtruth365.org to find out more about our services, classes, and community support. We invite you to visit with us and share our journey in truth.
Have you ever had your mind blown? Do you think you know how your mind works?
Let me think.
Do you think your mind can handle real truth?
The truth shall set you free.
Join Dr. Alan Carter for a special workshop entitled Know the Mind, Know Yourself, Saturday, November 3rd.
Free your mind.